But I'm getting ready for my new moon circle. See, I have a new moon circle on Friday afternoon, and I thought, why not get ready for it while you guys are here? And then you can see how I do that. How does that sound? Let's see here. I pulled the new moon. Now I need the full moon. For sure on TikTok, not even sure now. The topics fell off the news. You know, when I saw the reason, like back in January when it first came on, and I saw the reason why, it didn't feel the same. I'm gonna be honest. So, for those that don't know me, my name is Sarah. I am a mom. I'm an astrologist. I'm a psychic intuitive. I don't do psychic stuff on TikTok because I feel better if I'm doing it face-to-face kind of a thing. And I am getting ready for a new moon circle. Let's see, that's April 12th. That is happening on Friday. And I host these monthly and 6:23 p.m. And I'm just getting ready for it, so I thought I would come on and say hi. So, hi. Let me make sure that's accurate. Nope, that's not accurate, because those are not the same degrees. So we need to maybe do this one. Nope. Maybe we do this one, 7:22 p.m. Edit. 7:22. It's amazing what happens in an hour. There we go. That's the full moon. All right, so this is what I do for my full moon every month. What I do is I pull 2 charts, and I'm going to show you the charts because I think it's pretty cool. So when you do a full moon, oh, thank you for subscribing, sweetie. So every month I do something called the new moon circle. I've been doing this since September. And in this circle, it is $33 to attend. It's on Zoom, so anybody can attend anywhere around the world. And part of it is you get this packet, and it's meant to be like a reflection guide for you to be able to move through the moon cycle. I have been using, I've been following the moon for the last 4 years actively. Is that right? That feels right. And since I started doing that, I just feel like my temper's gone down, my emotions are more regulated because the moon is about our feelings and it's our day-to-day thing. So what I do for people with this circle is we look at the chart of the new moon, and this is going to be a solar eclipse, so there's going to be a lot of energy. And if you're susceptible to energy, I have to remember how to flip the camera, you might be feeling it before you go to bed on Friday. So this is the chart of the new moon. This is what I pull for every single time that I do my class. So you can see in Central Time Zone, if a baby was born at this exact moment on March 29th at 5:57 a.m. in Crystal, Minnesota, they would be an Aries sun and Aries moon with the Pisces rising. So this is a birth chart. This is what I talk about when I work with people one-on-one. If you subscribe to me here on TikTok, I can pull your chart or do an oracle card reading for you depending on what you're feeling on that day. There you go. So for this full moon or new moon, what I do is I talk about, let me put this down. I need to write this down real quick. March 29 at, I have to move you. Hello, Tori. Thank you for following me. Appreciate it. 5:57 a.m. Central Time. That's in fire. So when I talk about subscribing, I am talking about the 1 out of 13 up at the top, Tori. And you're more than welcome to do that too, but I appreciate you subscribing. I haven't done a video yet today. All right, so that's Central Time, so it's 4:57 Mountain and 3:57 Pacific, and then it'll be 6:57 a.m. Eastern. So we have a new moon that's happening on Saturday. Now, if you're the kind of person that collects crystals and things of that nature, I'm going to light a candle since we're going to start talking. You don't want to charge them. All right, rather, it's just not advised. You do you. It's chaotic energy. I just have no desire to have that chaotic energy be a part of my life. These are candles that I hand make with organic soy. I actually sell them now on my website. And this one is actually a larger version of my spring equinox version. I light candles anytime I work with clients as well. So when we do our new moon circle, I focus on primarily two things. One, the element that the lunation is going to be a part of, because we look at the new moon, first quarter moon, full moon, and last quarter moon. And what area of life does this highlight for you? So, and I think that is really important. Hi, Sherry. I think it's really important for people to understand the area of life that this is highlighting for you, because you can apply it a little bit differently. It's similar to, I live here in Minnesota, and we're in the false spring part of our day-to-day. If you're watching this live, or I'll put the replay on YouTube, where are you from? Or where do you live? Are you experiencing false spring? Because we are. It is the time of year where it's like 27 degrees when you wake up, and it can get to almost 60. So you end up drinking a lot of tea or a lot of water and take extra vitamins, because immune systems they go through the ringer during this time of year. And then we have a solar eclipse happening on Saturday as well. And it's in Aries. And if you are an Aries sun, Libra sun, Cancer, or Capricorn sun, I'm happy that you caught my live as well. Thank you for joining. This is the very last eclipse that is going to be on the Aries Libra axis. We had the last Libra solar lunar eclipse in, is that correct? We had the last of the Libra side in the fall. This is going to be the last of the Aries side now. And we will not see the nodes like this for 18 years. It's just how it is. I can't wait either, sweetheart. Oh, Robin, you have no idea. It has, in the fall, so the last eclipse season was in September. And oh my goodness, that was a lot. That was very much a lot in the last, it was a lot. I don't know if it was a lot for you, but it was a lot for me. And I'm a Libra sun as well. And this one coming up, we are nearing the end of the current eclipse season. I didn't see or coming the last 2 years, but hindsight, I see all the shenanigans. Isn't hindsight such a blessing, such a blessing. So the Virgo lunar eclipse that happened almost 2 weeks ago is the start of the current eclipse season that we're in. And it will end with the Aries solar eclipse. Now, I don't know if you were awake during the Virgo lunar eclipse. I actually woke up right before it started to go, and then I got really tired just before it got totality. But I was able to sit underneath the moon during that time inside my house because it was really cold. And oh my gosh, it was so beautiful. It was so gorgeous. And I could feel the calming because I had a lot going on in my life at that time, and I needed to feel calm. And it just really felt healing. Now, with the eclipse season, it is not recommended to do any kind of magic or intentional manifestations or intentionally letting go, because as my mentor Emily talks about it, it's like a hurricane or a tornado, and if you intentionally try to manifest or let things go, you might be trying to reach for that manifestation and pulling out a cow. Does this make sense? Yes. Soul level tired, yes. And it is very common, especially this week, if you feel really tired. And this is true in this type of particular week every month. So the month for the lunar cycle is divided up into 4 weeks. The first week features the new moon, and you start to feel like your energy might be coming up, especially if you have strong Cancer signatures in your chart, meaning Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising. Those are all ruled by the moon. Okay? Let me know if this makes sense to you guys. And if you have questions along the way, just let me know. So, where was I? We just got done with like a very long void, of course. So my mind is still a little bit fuzzy. I thought I was so tired from this healing I've been doing. And yeah, it absolutely could be totally true. Went for the boat. Did I say that right? I feel like I did. That very well could be true. So let me go back. Oh, that's where I was. Okay, I was talking about what the weeks are. So the first week of the moon cycle features the new moon. And it's about 7 days until we get to the first quarter moon. At the first quarter moon, there starts to be usually a frustration because the sun and the moon are at a 90-degree angle. And so in my new moon circle, we talk about what sign is going to be the frustration in what area of life. It's not to cause fear or worry. It's more like treating it like a forecast. Like, I'm going to go outside and the weatherman says it's going to be cold, so I'm going to make sure I wear a coat and wear a hat. Does that make sense? Okay, so that's what this circle is all about. Approximately 2 weeks after the new moon, we're going to have the full moon, and that is the Libra full moon. And that date, because I just pulled the chart of it, because I always talk about the new moon and the full moon a little bit in depth in my lunar circle, is April 12th at 7:22 p.m. And it's almost smack on top of my natal sun, so it should be really illuminating. Oh, yes. Hi, Debbie. Nice to meet you. And you know what, Debbie? I have an Aquarius moon, and both my children are Aquarius suns, so I totally get it. It will be at 23 degrees of Libra, April, or Robin. I don't know why I keep calling you April. I know who you are. So about a week after the full moon, so about 7 days after the 12th, it'll be about around the 19th, give or take, is the last quarter moon. And that's like the last, at the full moon, we're usually letting go of whatever we start at the new moon. Remember, solar eclipse though, or not intentionally starting anything, but you might be realizing, oh yeah, I don't really need that anymore with the Libra full moon. And then the last quarter moon is a frustration between, it will be in Taurus at that time. So Taurus and, what square is Taurus? Taurus moon, Taurus sun, squaring. We have Libra, Scorpio. Oh, it'd be Aquarius. Does that sound right? Yes, that's right. So the last quarter moon is likely going to be in Aquarius. I don't have my calendar up, so I can't really verify it. But I go over the dates. And this is what I get ready for. So when I do my new moon circle, and the sign up for it closes at 4 p.m. Central Time on Thursday, just because the computer does it. But if you miss out, email me and I'll get you in. I have been into astrology literally my whole life. But I thought astrology was opening up the newspaper and reading what Libra was, and that would make sense sometimes, and then it wouldn't. And then in 2020, my oldest started bringing these birth charts around, and I'm going to go grab the printout so you can see it. And my oldest, Bonnie, started bringing these printouts, and I was like, what's that? What is this? This is gibberish to me. And they had just gone off to college, and they just came out, and I didn't understand what non-binary was. I understand it more now. And I thought if I learned astrology the same way they did, that we could at least talk about something. Because if you're a mom and you have older children, sometimes they just stop talking to you because there's not shared interest. Does that make sense? So I went to the Deborah Silverman School of Astrology, and I learned how to read these birth charts. And then I learned from my mentor, Tara Vogel, how to read them for parents. So my focus for my astrology is to help you as an individual understand your energy. And if you're a parent, understand your child's. And I'll actually read your child's birth chart so that you understand them. Because as I was going through Deborah's school, I had Bonnie's chart and Connor's chart next to me. And I would look at it and go, oh, that's why they act like they do. And one of the things I did in the month of February, I haven't figured out how to put it on my website yet. I've totally redesigned my website. So Robin, if you haven't checked out my website, be sure to do. You guys can go check it out through the link in my bio. I've completely redesigned it, and I've changed my offerings a little bit. And if you don't know how to make one of these, the first link in my link tree is a guide that will be emailed to you when you sign up for it. And you also get a discount code for working with me for your first session. Love it about your kids. I'm excited about being an Aquarian and wondering what I should be doing. Well, you're more than just an Aquarian. So remember that. There are 10 planets, and each planet has its own energy. And the sun sign is just the easiest to track because it literally goes by the date of the year. And what I feel, especially if you're a parent or you have a partner or a spouse, if you can understand their Mercury, their Venus, their Mars, and their moon sign, along with their sun sign, those are the 5 that move the fastest in the sky besides your rising sign. And those are the 5 that really influence us the most, in my opinion. So the sun sign is your identity. It's how you shine your light in the world, literally. For an Aquarius sun, you probably always have been thought to be really unique. Some people might even think if you have an Aquarius moon, which I do, people sometimes would judge me and think that I don't have feelings, but you really do have feelings. You're able to separate them sometimes from the situation and not have life get in the way. Does that make sense? It's a gift and a curse at the same time. So much to know. Well, thank you for following my channel. I've gotten out of the habit of putting videos every time the moon changes sign or something every day. I'm getting better into the habit now. I'll be honest, I didn't know if TikTok was going to be around or not. So I've been growing my other channels, and I'm SRB stars everywhere. So if you are on the gram or the book or the tube, all of the places are like that. And my Patreon, that is also SRB stars as well. What would you like to know about my children? I can share what I feel is comfortable. So while you type, I will talk more about the 5 personal planets. So the sun is your identity. The moon is your emotional base, how you regulate your emotional base. Mercury is your mind and communication. He's currently retrograde right now. Venus is how you do relationships, your finances, your values, also is retrograde right now. And then Mars just got out of retrograde, is in Cancer, and he is your anger and how you show your passions and your drive and stuff like that. How am I navigating by watching their signs? Oh, that is a really great question. So Debbie, how I do that is, you have a 42-year-old daughter. Well, I turned 50 this year, so your daughter is not that far from my age. So if you decide to pull your daughter's chart, I would recommend talking with her about it first to make sure she's okay with it. And you do need to know your time of birth, location, and birthday. And for my children, they both have the same sun sign, so they're both Aquarius suns. They are both Scorpio risings because they actually were born around the same time. The rising sign changes every 2 to 2.5 hours. So they both are Scorpio risings, but they have different moon signs. Yes, I actually did plan them. I did. I did plan them. I'll get back to that in a second. So my oldest moon sign is a Pisces moon, and my youngest is a Gemini. And when I look at charts for parents, I'm looking, the sun sign, the moon sign typically represent the parent in the child's chart. And I look to see where you find yourself in your child's chart as well. Holy moly, I don't know if anyone has done that. Oh goodness, what did I say? Oh, plan. I was a teacher. I was a teacher. I taught 7th graders. I wanted 6 months off with my babies. And I thought that if I got 6 months off with my babies, that it would be less expensive for daycare, because if your children are 6 months old when they go to daycare, it's usually less money. And then that way I have the ability to, be there. I taught 7th grade remedial reading from 99 to 2014. And then I went off and I did a second career, which is Tupperware. I'm a Tupperware business leader. I wasn't at the time when I left teaching, but I grew my business so that I could replace that income. And now I am growing my astrology side, and I'm also a psychic intuitive as well. So the fact that Bonnie and I can talk about astrology, it's super interesting because I understand a little bit more about how they think. And you asked about how I navigate my children by knowing about their astrology. When I saw their charts side by side, I got to understand, okay, my oldest is a Pisces moon. They can get overwhelmed. So maybe not asking a whole bunch of questions when the moon is in a water sign or in Pisces especially. Okay? They're also very sleepy. They have also self-regulated. Pisces can be the sign of addictions. We're currently in a Pisces moon right this second. And it can be the sign of addictions because Pisces just wants to escape. It just wants to. When I think of the water signs, I think of Cancer, like at the edge of a lake with the mom going, "Oh, Debbie, watch. No, I got to have you stay within the lines. No, stay in the lines, Debbie. No, do you have your sunscreen on?" That kind of idea. That's Cancer energy. Scorpio energy, which is the second water sign, is like the kid underneath the water waiting to see who they're going to jump out and scare. Okay? Pisces sits on the bottom and just lets the world go by. And that's the energy that my oldest holds for their moon sign. They are very floaty. They have a very soft heart. They care very much about their community, which is indicative of an Aquarius sun. But as a Pisces moon combination with it, it just is like they want to make sure everybody is taken care of and that everybody feels accepted and everybody feels the way that they should be. It's a huge feeling type signature. So I learned about that. My oldest, or my youngest, has a Gemini moon. He likes to talk. And he has to be around people. And my oldest now works for a nonprofit in an office that has 2 other people. And my youngest is in college, is on the track team, is doing a fraternity so that he can have social networking. He will go up and talk to strangers and just start a conversation. That's all very indicative of a Gemini moon. So to get to my point, Debbie, of your question of how I worked with my children, by paying attention to the moon sign especially, I have learned how to talk with my kids and actually hear them and be responsive to them. And that's the gift that I want to give any parent when I meet with them, because if you can understand your child for the unique individual that they are, just like you want to be understood for the unique person that you are. Did I say that right? I think I said that right. But you know what I meant if I didn't. Life is just easier. So I'm going to look back and see what I missed. If I have any questions. Is astrology the most fun job you've had? It's I don't know if most fun is the right wording. It's very different. In my life, from teaching to this, I feel like I've always been helping people. And so now I'm just helping people in a different way. In Tupperware, I help people with physical stuff. Containers, this is actually a piece of Tupperware itself. It's a thermos. It's what I put my tea in. Because I grew up in a single parent family home and I want to make sure you save money because food's expensive. As an astrologist, I'm helping people understand their energy, and people who like astrology tend to not necessarily subscribe to Tupperware, and people who like Tupperware don't always subscribe to astrology, so I get to help both worlds, if that makes sense. Let me see here. It's also neat to raise your children with the capacity. Honestly, Debbie, I didn't start learning astrology till Bonnie was 18 and Connor was 15. So helping parents as early as I can is great, but helping them to understand them anytime they are, it's always awesome. If I do, so you had mentioned what she known that when she was a baby. I am certain that you gave your child exactly what they needed to grow up to be the person that they became today. So don't doubt yourself about that for motherhood, Debbie, for sure. In regards to when I meet with parents, if they are a baby, like you mentioned, the first 7 years are all the moon years. So I'm going to talk more about how do they regulate their emotions and things like that. And then it becomes the Mercury years, which makes sense because they're going off to school and so on. All right, so let me see here. Makes sense. Glad that makes sense. That's awesome. I'm glad she's successful. So, Robin, since you subscribed to that little 1 out of 13 up there, and you're the first to subscribe, my friend, did you want me to pull a card for you? Look at your chart. You're very welcome, Debbie. I'm pretty much open to answering any questions that you have, as long as they're appropriate. Oh, thank you for the join your team. That's very sweet. Let's go for a card. Awesome. Let me see here. Pull this out. Do you want a card or the Om? Remember, the Om is the wooden pieces. OGHAM is Om. Otherwise, we can do oracle cards. Thank you for liking the live. You like the Om. Okay. I have 2 pouches now because I moved everything from where I was doing in-person stuff to home. Which one do you like better? The green one with the leaf? They have exactly the same characters. They just have different shapes inside. Or the moon one? I'm glad that's huge to you too. The pink flowers. So this one. All right. So when you do an Om reading with me, whether you book it or you become a subscriber, and by subscriber, that's the 1 out of 13 up there. I use my magic book to interpret it. Robin, I want you to think about what answers that you're hoping to figure out. Can you give me a general heading? Like, is this going to be about finances, relationships? General question. What does it sound like? What will it be for you today? And while she's getting ready to type that, purpose goals. The Om is a Celtic lettering language that looks a lot like runes. And the pouch that she picked actually look like acorns. And I can read them a couple ways. I can look to see what energy is going in and out by making a grid, or I can just pull 3. And today I'm just pulling 3. So let me get connected. So this is for Robin. She's looking for guidance on her goals, her purpose goals. So this one was pulled first. Why was that one chosen? And what, if she needs any kind of advice for next steps, what would that be? All right, so your first one that you got is this one right here. Oh, I need to mirror. All right, so it's that one right here. Okay, so this is your first one. And this is in the second field. There are 5 in Celtic Om. And this one is the holly or berry. And it has to do with mastery. So my question would be is, what are you doing to spark your creativity at this time in regards to those purpose and goals? Are you fighting balance and unity at this time? Oh, thank you, Debbie. So think about that. You don't have to answer in the chat. I just want you to think about it. So this one's all about mastery and how are you using your creativity and what is your relationship with prosperity. Are you okay with abundance? Studying, listening to my team, finding balance. So you're doing that. You're doing the work. Why was this chosen? Well, we're seeing within the same vid, has everything been going okay? This one is Hawthorne, and it can work with fears. And it could be in regards to fears that might be holding you back from doing what you want to do. It does typically ask for you to rely on maybe not moving forward, like time. This isn't the time to really move forward with things. It's more of a time to just try to, what's the word I'm looking for? Evaluate things before moving forward, which, you know, we're in Mercury retrograde and Venus retrograde, so that tracks as well. Does that make sense? So that's why it was chosen. So we have mastery. Maybe there's some fears that you need to let go of, or in the process of letting go of because of that eclipse, whether you like it or not. And we're moving into the first tier. Let me see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the last one is this one right here. And this one is the last one in the first field, which has to do with support and connection. So the fact that you're leaning on your guides and you're doing your journaling and you're doing all of those things, that is helpful. And I want you to think about, what are those obligations that you're doing? Is there something that maybe did work for you in the past, but maybe isn't working for you now? And if it's not working for you, what can you move forward with for the greater good? Does this make sense to you, my friend? Let me know. Debbie, did you want me to pull your birth chart or do an Om reading for you as well? Awesome. I'm glad that it was helpful. Since you subscribed up to the top, I can do one or the other. Your choice, if you're still here. I can't tell if you are. Oh, you want a birth chart. Okay. So, if you would like a birth chart, I need to know, Debbie, what your date of birth is, your location, and your birthday. And I'll just do a very quick reading. All right. That's awesome, Robin. I'm glad that was a confirmation for you. All right, so February 6th, 1962 at 6:56 a.m. in Tawanda. All right, Tawanda. So were you born, when I type in Tawanda, Debbie, there are 3 different locations. There's Tawanda, New York, there's Tawanda Indian Reserve, and Tawanda Junction. Which one is it? Is it just the city? Which one is it? Is it just the city? Okay. I'm going to go with just the city. And I can, okay, perfect. All right. So, Debbie, have you ever had an astrology reading before? Is always my first question. We have February 6th, 1962, 6:56 a.m. Okay, so you were born, you have the same signature as my child, my oldest kid. How cool is that? All right, so you have an Aquarius sun, a Pisces moon, and an Aquarius rising. And so and you were born with Mercury in retrograde. How's your head? Does it feel like life is a little bit clearer right now for you? I always ask that of my clients that have retrograde planets and we're talking during retrograde, because I was born with Mercury retrograde as well in my chart. And yeah, my head feels a little bit less foggy. All right, so we have interesting. Okay, so with the Aquarius sun and Pisces, you have a packed first house, first off, I have to tell you. Are you still here, Debbie? Let me know if you are. And let me know if there's something in particular you want me to look for in your chart. Awesome. Is there something in particular you want me to look for, or just give you a general sun, moon, rising kind of reading for today? No? Okay. Nothing. So I'm just going to do a general sun, moon, rising. So you have an Aquarius sun, a Pisces moon, and Aquarius rising. Both your sun and your moon are in your first house. And you were born shortly after the new moon. So you have a lot of new moon energy naturally inside of you, is what that typically means, which means if you want something to come to light, it probably does. Have you felt like you have been, like you just absorb other people's energy as you grew up? Yep. So do you have a good grounding, clearing, and shielding practice? Because you have your moon in Pisces, your Chiron's in Pisces, you have Neptune's in Scorpio. So you have some water in your chart. Getting better daily. Awesome. I would keep doing that, especially if you're going to go into stressful situations, because you're an energetic sponge. Wearing something like tourmaline, tourmaline can block energy as well and be helpful as that. Your first house has Mercury, your sun, Jupiter, Venus, Chiron, which doesn't really count as a planet, and your moon. So of the 10 planets that we look at, Mercury, Sun, Jupiter, Venus, and the moon are all in your first house. You have 5 of the 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the 10 planets that we typically look at. So what that means is your sense of self is super important. You want to make sure that you feel like if people don't understand you very well, you can get offended easily? Or have you learned how to roll it off your back at this point in your life? I'm electric, I'd say, but I don't know what to do with all this energy. Do you move your body? You're learning in the last 3 years to move your body? That's the first step, is with that much energy in your first house, moving your body is a really good way to process that, because your chart ruler, your sun ruler, is either Uranus or Saturn. If you do modern astrology like I do, it can be Uranus, and he's actually talking to, who's he talking to? He is talking to your moon, and he is talking to your Venus. They're a little bit wide. Not so much the Venus or the moon. So do you feel like you have to just roll with life just a little bit more than more people. I need to get out of Buffalo, and dark winters are way too long for my energy if you don't ski. Yes, I agree. I live in Minnesota, and the winters here, the last few years have been a lot better, but I do understand the whole seasonal sad, needing to have the sun. Yes. Oh, yeah. Can you hear the accent? Since you have so much in your first house, you do have a lot of what we would call Aries type energy. So moving your body is the best way to get that electricity out. Uranus is connected to your moon. He is connected to your Venus, and he is connected to your Chiron. So if you can figure out how to meet in the middle between being your individual self and wanting to be accepted for who you are, that's where the magic comes. Self-love is very important, absolutely. Your Uranus is in Leo, so it can be changeable. Your creativity can be changing too. How do you do your creativity? Oh, good. I'm glad you hear me. Creativity could be a really great outlet for you. With a Pisces moon, do you do art in some form? And art can be anything that you create. My oldest does paintings. They also do, this is something that my oldest created back a while ago. So it's not just paintings that Bonnie does. Although I do have their first oil painting. Thank you. I think it's lovely too. I got this in Bath, London. It is a memory, so to speak, of my dad died right before I was 2. So my mom, to go to work, would have us spend the weekend at Rita's house, and she had one of these things. And this is tells you what the day of the week is. It's a calendar. Well, thank you for saying sorry, but it's okay. So how you do it is you set it by the year. So you look for the year. So I need to look for 2025. And then you set it by the month. Found 2026. I know 2025 has to be here. There it is, 2025. So we are in March. So there's 2025. There's 2025. And there's March. And then this is the calendar. So then this is where the days of the week would fall as around. And I found it in a shop in Bath. That's not really it. Nope, that's 2024. I have to do it that way. There we go. Because March ends on the 31st. So we have that. And it's actually made of oak. I have something on the back that explains it. It's pretty cool. So that way I always have a calendar, whether I have one digitally or not. So there's that. It is neat. All right, so I need to get back to getting ready for this new moon circle. So Debbie, if you would like to get a full reading from me at a little bit of a discount, and you want to learn how to make your own birth chart, go to the link in my bio and click discount and learn how to do my own birth chart. Sign up for my weekly email, and you're going to get to your email as a thank you discount code for your first session with me, which can be applied to the new moon workshop we're going to do on Friday, or it can be for a normal session. And I do a sliding scale for having sessions with me now. That's the thing I'm most excited about, is that I have the ability, because I'm doing everything online now, I have the ability to have a sliding scale so you can pay what works in your budget. Have fun with disc golf. Have a lot of fun with that. I'm going to be leaving here soon too. Rich is playing 9 holes today and to get ready for men's league. It's called Wednesday Night League, but there's only guys in it, so it's really men's league anyways. So he's doing that right now, and then I'm going to go eat dinner with him up at Brookview where he golfs. So there's that. All right. I'm not getting emails on any electronic surface. I have to go to the Apple store for help. Ugh, I hate that when that happens. It's hard. Robin, I'd love to go to the gym, but I have the flu and recouping, so I don't want to get around. Well, you know what? That was one of the blessings with COVID. People are more aware of when they're sick. Debbie, I totally understand that. Is there when you're able to? You're very welcome. It's okay. I work with a lot of people that are not electronically inclined. But we did meet on TikTok. So there's that. All right. So we have Aries solar eclipse. For those that are just joining, I'm getting ready for my new moon circle. And I am just making sure that I keep track of everything as I do. You're very welcome. Thank you for becoming a subscriber. And then anytime I happen to be live, I can pull up your chart and see if there's something going on that you would like advice on. It's like a 5-10 minute little reading. And then, or I can pull a card or do an own reading like I did for Robin. So there's that. So we're still connected. And if you go to my profile and click the bell, anytime I go live, you'll get a notification as well. So there's that. All right, so I'm looking for the first quarter moon. The first quarter moon will be on Friday, April 4th. So that's Friday, April 4th at 15 degrees of Cancer at 8:16 a.m. 8:16 p.m. Central Time. Thank you. I just like hanging out with my husband. He has the exact degree for his rising sign as I do my sun sign. So I always made the joke beforehand that he was born to love me. And after I learned astrology, I kind of learned that he was. So there's that. Pacific, and then 9:16 p.m. Eastern. And that is a water element. And then the full moon. No dishes. I don't like going to bed with dishes in the sink. It really annoys the crap out of me. I don't like the smells that happen in the morning, especially. It is not my favorite. 8:22 p.m. Eastern Time, 6:22 p.m. Mountain, 5:22 p.m. Pacific. So there's that. Thank you for all the likes, and thank you for joining. For those of you that are joining, my name is Sarah. I'm a mom, I'm an astrologist, and a psychic intuitive, and I'm getting ready for my lunar cycle circle, a new moon circle that I'm doing on Friday, just by getting the packet together. How long have I been on TikTok with astrology? That's a good question. Probably since 2022, 3, somewhere in there. 2022 feels better. Yeah, somewhere in 2022. Maybe 2021. I started doing this. I took the classes for Deborah Silverman in 2021. So I probably joined TikTok around then as well. In my channel, you're going to see recipes from time to time because, you know, I do Tupperware too. And then I also give mom advices as well. Oh, you love Deborah? I do too. She speaks to my Taurus rising so well because the biggest thing that her school comes across is she desperately, like, no holds bar, wants you to totally understand things in normal language. Oh, which class did you take? Did you take level 1, level 2? April 12th. So it is Saturday, April 12th. And this will be at 23 degrees of Libra. I was just glancing at them about a year ago. One of the classes that I have that's in a self-paced class is it takes her idea of looking at the elements and it just brings the 5 personal planets to just working with the elements. So if you know for example, let me pull up your chart one more time. So your Mars is in an air sign. So if your Mars is in an air sign, what can you do to work with it, kind of a thing. You know what? It's okay that you know nothing about astrology. It really is. Everybody can learn in their own ways. All right. I like to focus on the moon, even though I don't have a lot of Cancer in my chart at all. My IC the bottom of my chart is ruled by Cancer. So I guess that's foundational for me. And the only thing I have in Cancer, I don't have any planets in Cancer, come to think of it. Yeah, because Saturn's in Leo. That's another big thing that Deborah does is she really works hard with you with your Saturn for what lessons that you're going to learn in your lifetime. For you, your Saturn is in Aquarius. And it's in the 12th house. So intuitive stuff is very much a part of your history. If you want an easy book, this is my favorite book for learning about Saturn. It's super small, so literally it fits in the size of a hand. And I like it because it talks normal language as well. That's one of my biggest books. And if you are really wanting to learn astrology in a very basic way, super basic, I highly recommend this DK book. It's on my website as well for books I recommend. There's 2 versions. This is the one I would recommend. It's called The Secrets of Astrology. When I work with parents, this is the one that I will share with them to get, especially if they want to have their children. What I love about it is it does all the signs. So this is Leo, so we're going to go to Aquarius for you, because you were born in Aquarius. And it gives you keywords that are super easy to understand. Like, a lot of people think that Aquarius is a water sign, but in reality, he's the water bearer. And then it gives you, like, if your sun's in Aquarius, if your moon's in Aquarius, if your rising sign's in Aquarius, what does that mean? And for you, you would look at your rising and your sun. And then it has simple words over here. And then, to top it all off, it goes into the different planets as well. But what I like about it, too, is it talks about the houses. And so I mentioned that you had 5 planets in the first house. And the houses are the area of life that that these things show up in. And so over here on this page, it's like you have Chiron. Chiron is technically not a planet. So we can't call him a planet. But you have the moon, Venus, Jupiter, the sun, and Mercury. If we count Chiron, then we would count him as the sixth one. So you would go over here to the thing. So you have an Aquarius sun, and then you go over here to Aquarius to see the keywords, and you see how they match up. It's kind of cool. So there's that. All right, so I need to look up the last quarter moon. Oh, where is the last quarter moon? What? That makes no sense. All right, that's not right. Okay, so nope, I want that. All right, so we have the sun moving into Taurus on the 19th. Should be an Aquarius, and it is an Aquarius. The last quarter moon is on April 20th. On Easter Sunday, when all people get together, when a lot of people get together for family gatherings, there could be frustration. That's always fun. PM, 7:35 p.m. Mountain, and 6:35 p.m. Pacific. And it's going to be at oh goodness, that's a lot of energy happening on that day. 1 degrees of Aquarius. Which is going to be an air sign. And that means the balsamic phase, which is the phase that we're in right now. We just got invited to my sister-in-law's house, so that's interesting. Let me see here. So the next new moon after that, I think is a Sunday, isn't it? Yes, it is. So it'd be Taurus. New moon is on Sunday. It's 7 degrees. And so the new moon circle is happening the Friday before. Friday, April 25th at 4 p.m. Central. Awesome. Cool. All right. So, Debbie, if you're interested in joining the circle, I would love for you to have me, or have you. I'm very much looking forward to it. By the end of the next cycle, all will be moving forward because Mercury and Venus will be turning around in the next lunation. So there's that. It's actually been an interesting time to reflect these last few weeks, these last few months, weeks, years. So much is going on. All right. Yes. Well, my friends, I'm going to have to sign off because I have to get my animals fed. I have a beautiful black cat that needs eardrops, and so I give her eardrops and then I go feed her. I want to thank you for joining me today. I hope that you join my New Moon Circle. I'll be putting this replay on YouTube, so if you want to catch the replay, Debbie, to hear more about what I said, if you didn't get a chance to write it all down, it'll be there as well. Have an amazing night. yes, my YouTube is SRB Stars as well. So you'll be able to watch there too. It just takes a little bit for Chickadee Talk to get the stuff down and everything. Talk to you later. Bye.